Pearl, 79 Main Street. Mr. Grafiotis, I've asked you a number of times if you had a plan that you could share with the public to improve the situation in the police department. I would ask you that again. Excuse me?
Answer to him.
I'm telling you, the chair, that this isn't an inquisition.
I know, I'm just saying, I guess if you do not wish to respond, just
I do not
stop.
wish to respond.
Okay. I have a couple of suggestions for you. I don't see how we're really going to move forward until you take a few steps. I think you need to apologize to Officer Lupina for not providing you due process. That's been proven in this commission.
Can we stop right there? I think we have been over this a number of times with regard to the fact about an issue that is a litigation issue, that we cannot go there. So for us to even entertain that conversation, for you to ask them that, I really think it's really crossing the lines. And I would wish that you would refrain from having that conversation, because as I said, it's an issue that is in litigation, and if we even have any discussion about it, it really isn't appropriate. So I would ask you to please refrain, and please understand the fact that we can't have a conversation with you.
Thank you. If you find something else that's objectionable, please interrupt me. I would also suggest that you apologize for Officer Davina for calling him a liar in the newspaper.
Again, please.
That's not under litigation, is it?
I know that's not under litigation, but I guess, can I say this, Mr. Pearl, okay? I think I've said this a couple of times, that comment has been made before, and I can certainly appreciate your wanting to have either a resolution or an answer to it, but I think, given the fact that the chief has said that he is not going to respond and that you're not going to get a response from him, that there's no point in going there. And I would ask you to not ask that question.
Well, out of respect for the chair, I will abide by that. And I apologize because I'm a bit unprepared, but in reading the policy,
Reading the what? I'm sorry.
Policies of the department.
Okay, yes.
And I apologize because I don't have the article in front of me. But it's my understanding that the chief is the public relations officer for this department. He is supposed to interact with the public, and he is supposed to answer our questions. My asking the question of whether he has a plan that he can share with the public to improve the situation in the police department has nothing to do with litigation, has nothing to do with...
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said that he was not willing to respond to your question. That was on that issue. The other issue had to do with the litigation, and as I said to you, because of the litigation, we can't entertain that discussion. Then you went on to the other, and I spoke to you about that. So I just want to be clear.
I understand the difference. I guess I am commenting on his lack of response, and I am basically saying, in my opinion, he is not doing his job, which is to interact with the public. And I can understand if he doesn't want to discuss issues that are under litigation, but I'm just making the point that a plan for improvement, me asking him for a plan for improvement, doesn't fall into that at all. That is something that's very general, that he could comment on. I've asked him to comment on it a few times, and he refuses to answer any of my questions. And I just find that he is not serving the public, and he's not doing his job correctly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Why is it when a member of the public wants to ask the chief a question about operations or about the department, having nothing to do with any current litigation, why isn't it...
He refuses to answer. I don't know what you want me to do.
well,
I just
you
stated a fact that he's unwilling to answer the question, so we have to leave it there. We're not going to debate the issue all night.
I understand that, but, Chief, when it comes to answering the public's questions about various things, I mean, you just said it's not an inquisition, I understand that, but if the public has concerns about certain things, why is it that you would not answer the public's questions? If they had questions about burglaries, about crime stats, about these sort of things, why wasn't it you wouldn't answer something like that that has nothing to do with anybody in particular, except you answering the question coming from the public about what's happening with the police department?
I'll tell you, because number one, I don't agree with his assumption of the problems that he believes exist. And number two, plans to deal with issues within the department are handled by the command staff, and I'm not gonna publicly discuss staffing and other personnel issues.
Right, but if you disagree with somebody in public, they're entitled to their view, and that's why they would come and ask questions. And you obviously, if you disagree with that, why not give them the explanation as to what your disagreement is? If they're incorrect in their assumptions, why not tell them, no, it's because X, Y, and Z? I understand the fragility of not giving away plans on how we fight crime. I understand that. But when the public comes forward and asks a question, and I understand a lot of times it's accusatory in nature and probably shouldn't be, I would take a defensive stand if it was as well, but if it's an inquiry, I see no reason why you wouldn't answer certain questions. If you don't have the answer, you don't have the answer, but I don't understand that. I mean, short of the commission, giving you a directive to answer it, I think it gives a bad impression on the Brooksville Police Department.
Anyone else wishing to speak?